Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight we got a good one here. It is the American Sim Racing Club here at Nashville Superspeedway. So these drivers will get ready to rock and roll here and put on battle for 50 laps here. And then later tonight, right after this ends, we get ready for the live coverage at South Boston Speedway with the American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Series. So here tonight, let's go over tonight's starting lineup. Chuck Darling in the 88 machine will lead the field to the green flag. To his outside will be the 013. That is Ty Delphia. Then we had P number 3. That is Deb McDonald in the 18 machine. Stephen Rochefort in the 66 will roll off 4th. Rounding out the top 5 will be the 35 machine of Hayden Swank. Pete Dillon will roll off 6th here tonight in the 7 car. 7th will go to the 48 of Tim Rogers. Starting in 8th is the 51 of Ron Hart. Dave Payton in the 38 machine will start 9th. And 10th will be the 9 car of Anthony Danta. Rolling off 11th will be the 44 machine of Zach Nichols, and then quick time qualifier here tonight, the 93 car of Andrew Payne. Starting in 13th is the 41 car of Caleb Ramsey, 14th going to the 40 of Chase Swank, 15th is the 86 of Stephen Hoffman. Logan Powers in the 918 machine will start 16th, 17th going to the 52 of Jeff Dillon. Zach Hoyer in the 13 machine will start 18th. 19th going to Jeremy Rigney in the 088. John DeMeester in the 2 car will start 20th. 21st is Jaden Kratachi in the 926. And then TJ Hassan in the 14 machine will start 22nd and shotgun on the field. So here we go, folks. We get ready to rock and roll. Lights are out. 50 laps of distance. And if you can see with the lap count, we get a little bit of a hint that there might be some overtime here tonight with it being 51 laps. So here we go. As the field gets ready to rock and roll, Chuck Darling, Ty Delphia side by side. Chuck Darling. Oh, just kidding. We had a delayed green there, so it looks like things gonna take an extra lap here. Things in the back not quite set. Anthony Danta, the driver, starting shotgun on the field here, so a 9 car made it towards the back. I believe not everyone passed him right away, so that is the cause of the issue there. Alrighty, now we get a little bit more ready to rock and roll. I believe everything's set to let these drivers rip here from Nashville Superspeedway. Last week, Anthony Danta picking up the win at Oswego. Now we'll see who can walk away with the checker flag as we go green flag racing. Chuck Darling here gets away with a great start. Ty Delphia from that top lane able to jump down to the bottom in front of Devin McDonald. So top 5 quickly single filed out here. Darling continues to lead the way here. Devin McDonald getting some pressure from both sides behind the rear bumper as Hayden Swank now looks to the outside of that 18 machine. Stephen Rochefort right there as well in the 66. Oh, Darling maybe gets a little bit loose, had to chase that car up the racetrack just a little bit. But able to hang on to it for lap number 1 there for the 88 machine. As the field will dive back down into turn number 1 here to complete lap number 1. Philadelphia now to the inside of Darling. So Ty's going to have the advantage leading the field down the backstretch from that inside lane. Right behind them, Stephen Roachfort wasting no time. That moved Chuck Darling up the racetrack, top of now 4 wide for the 88 machine. So Hayden Swank, Chuck Darling losing a lot of spots because of that right there. Oh, contact here. Ron Hart, Stephen Roachfort get together in one car. Going on around, that's a 13 machine of Zach Coyer. So Coyer going on around, Jeremy Rigney involved. And I think the other car involved is Jaden Kratachi. So a quick start to the cautions here tonight on lap number 2 here in the street stocks. And you can see the damage to the 11 car of Jaden Kratachi as well as the 13 of Zach Coyer. Jeremy Rigney looks like can't even get that car back to the pits. So the 88 done as well here tonight. Out in front, though, Ty Delphia leading the way over Devin McDonald. Now Ron Hart is up to P number 3. Stephen Roachfort back into 4th where he started. And Tim Rogers now into the top 5. Then right behind Rogers, tonight's 2 quickest qualifiers. Andrew Payne 6th. Then Zach Nichols 7th here. Yeah, we saw Chuck Darling get shuffled out of the front of the pack there. Darling down 12 positions because now he currently sits in P number 13 after starting on the pole here tonight. And it looks like lights still on the pace truck here, so quite a bit of time. While we are under pacing here, we'll take a look here. Nashville's Superspeedway, a 1.3 mile, kind of D-oval shaped with that tri-oval on the front stretch. So where it gets sketchy is on corner exit, of course, with that banking going on away. And we can see cars here tonight, you know, above 150 miles an hour, which is absolutely flying in a street stock here. Looks like a nice clear night. Kind of warm out, 75 degrees under the lights. Of course, we got to thank Boardwalk Subs, as well as LaPlante Racing Products and Postma Flooring. So Ty will have choose here at the start-finish line, can choose high or low in that 13 machine. With here, it probably doesn't matter too much because the arrow and the draft is just so important, but looks like the 13 machine of Ty Delphia gonna choose the inside lane here as we see the rest of the field re-rack and restacking, and we'll get ready to get back to green flag racing. And off of turn number 4, the field comes, and we head back to green flag racing here at Nashville Superspeedway. Philadelphia able to get a good start. He will have some space by himself. 2x2 now for second, not anymore. Ron Hart quickly up into second. Ron Hart going for the race lead here down the backstretch. So Chuck Darling was the first leader here tonight. Then it was Philadelphia. Now new race leader here at the start-finish line as Ron Hart will lead the lap. He's now getting pushed by Tim Rogers. So Rogers up into the mix. Same with quick time qualifier Zach Nichols. Nichols up into P number 4 looking for some more. A 1 car way up the speedway. That was a 7 car. Pete Dillon getting shuffled on up. Yeah, very, very intense racing. I mean, these guys racing inches off of each other because this car, that's how you have to race these big tracks. Only 375 horsepower. These things, you know, weighing 3,500 pounds. They're big, heavy, not so much power. So you got to keep that momentum up at all times. As here comes a charge from the outside lane here. Philadelphia, Ron Hart gonna lean on each other just a tiny bit here off of turn number 2. Here on iRacing, these street stocks can definitely lean on each other quite a bit, and that is what those drivers doing there. As we see what the 48 car of Tim Rogers is seeing a lot of the back bumper of the 51 here. Pretty much have to keep it super speedway racing here. As here down the backstretch, Tim Rogers gonna throw a big block there on Zach Nichols. Nichols gonna fall in line, but now Rogers gonna be to the inside of Ron Hart, 3 wide for the race lead off of turn number 4. Oh man, how's this gonna work? Rogers down to the apron. Hart and Delphia gonna lean on each other just a little bit. Still making it 3 wide happen though here. Now Zach Nichols trying to choose which lane he wants to go in. Here comes Andrew Payne to fill in the gap. Maybe 3 wide, 2 rows deep. Wow, look at those sights here at Nashville Superspeedway here tonight. Some intense, close racing as well, as these guys just trying to figure out where they want to get to. As now Zach Nichols to the inside of the front row. Now Ron Hart has gotten shuffled up to the outside. Tim Rogers in the middle now. Wow, talk about super, super close racing. These guys almost leaning on each other and just trying to keep that momentum up, and everyone's getting pushed on that front row here. Right on board with Andrew Payne, just seeing absolutely the calamity, the chaos around him, but everyone's keeping it rocking and rolling. And this is at, you know, 140 plus miles an hour in a street stock. Oh, his contact further on back. Anthony Danta hard into the outside wall. Chuck Darling involved. Same with the 38 of Dave Payton. It looked like maybe 3 wide racing gone wrong. I think Payton and Danta make contact. Wow. So Chuck Darling done and out of this. I think John DeMeester is alright. I don't think he has any damage on the 2 car. Dave Payton, though, heavy front end damage there to the 38. As that will slow down the battling at the front there. But man, some great battles at that. Yeah, Zach Nichols out in front. So with this caution, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we'll be back to the restart here tonight and see how this race will continue here. First kind of third of the race going to be completed here under our second caution of the night. Alrighty, we come back here to Nashville Superspeedway. Zach Nichols going to choose the inside lane here on the second restart of the night. As here we go, it's going to be Zach Nichols, Ron Hart on the front row to kick off lap 17. We will be going back green here. Nichols on the loud pedal, able to get clear. Hart can jump down to the bottom if he wants. Probably would be the smart move, but going to stay up in lane number 2. Tim Rogers going to fill in the gap there on the bottom. And now Zach Nichols out in front. Rogers going to get a little bit tight, wash up the racetrack just a little bit, almost into the side there of Hart. Rogers going to go all the way down, try and make that track as short as possible, but as you can see, Zach Nichols out in front of the field here. Nichols just going to try and run perfect laps, hope that he can keep those cars behind him at bay. Everyone else though in the pack here trying to make something work. We take a look here at the 86. This is Stephen Hoffman trying to work over the 918 of Logan Powers. Powers making his first start of the season here tonight, up in front, almost 3 wide for a second. As I think Stephen Rochford thinking about the middle maybe for a second, but we'll think better of that. So far, 22 cars have taken the green flag. Only about 16 of them currently in the top, I should say the top 16 now, as we see Jeff Dillon get around John Meester. Those two may be in danger of losing the pack, maybe not, though, because this pack pretty spread on out, but still side by side for second up here. So while we got these guys side by side like this, I think it'll be the perfect time to let the cars do a little bit of talking, and we'll do a little turn 3, turn it up here at the start finish line. That was 2 flying laps here at the Nashville Superspeedway. Up towards the front, no change really in the standings. Zach Nichols still out in front and still side by side for second, Tim Rogers and Ron Hart. So this race definitely given old school, you know, Superspeedway vibe, but this car all bunched on up and not too much chance at a lot of opportunities. Say let's jump on board with Zach Nichols, looking back at the rest of the field here. Just watching him in control, kind of giving the draft to the outside lane down the straightaway. Then put the draft on the inside lane, giving Tim Rogers the dirty air as he goes down lower into the corner. Yeah, Zach Nichols just nice, easy, lazy kind of arc into the corner. That's allowing him to keep some pretty nice momentum here from the 44 machine out in front of this field. So towards the back here, Jeff Dillon's starting to run down Chase Swank. Chase Swank, you can see, having a little bit of nose damage there on that Thunderbird. So that's allowing now Jeff Dillon to get to his back bumper. Zach Hoyer, we saw involved in that first incident of the night. He's now back into 13th there in the 13 machine. But everyone else is in this pack, in this gridlock, as we now pass the halfway point here tonight. As someone finally breaking up the gridlock, here comes Steven Rochford. He'll dive down to the inside of Tim Rogers. Now 3 wide for second place. And oh man, how will this work out? Can Rogers get back clear? No, he cannot. So they will stay 3 wide into turn number 1 here. Hayden Swank jump into the middle. Andrew Payne up top in row number 2 of this pack. Then it is Ty Delfia. He led some laps here tonight, looking to get back towards the front. He's now that second car on that bottom lane there. It's almost contact there between the 41 and the 35. This time by, we have started the countdown clock. Now only 24 laps to go. As Zach Nichols, with these guys 3 wide behind him, he's actually starting to check out a little bit more in front of the field. Nichols almost stretching that gap out to half a second. And once you get around that half-second mark, you can start to break the draft here on iRacing. So Nichols might be sitting in a really good spot, especially if these guys don't get themselves straightened out anytime soon here. Already starting to drop on back here, maybe realizing it with no help, he's no point to stay in that third lane, or maybe realizing, hey, this leader's continuing to drive away. Now Zach Nichols, 3/4 of a second advantage out in front. Now side by side for second, Tim Rogers still the car in that battle, and now the new contender Steven Rochford trying to get around the 48, but these two still just stuck in a gridlock here. So at 21 to go, you know, this pack right here all the way back to Pete Dillon. Dillon's in the 12th position, so it's kind of an 11-car pack with Zach Nichols now checking out for over a second advantage. Dillon, though, starting to lose the pack just a little bit. Then in the chase of the pack, it is Zach Hoyer, Jeff Dillon, and Chase Swank in here. And it looks like John DeMeester by himself a little bit in the 2 machine. Yeah, with 20 to go now, Zach Nichols, a second advantage here at what we thought was a drafting track. He's able to break the draft and now drive away from the field. So this 2x2 racing definitely slowing down the pack, and it's still costing them. I mean, last time by, Zach Nichols did a 35.66. This pack did a 35.73 to a 7.8. So that definitely shows you this pack is about a tenth slower each and every lap than a car by itself. So these guys, if they want a chance, they either got to hope for a caution before this race is over, or else they got to start working together a little bit, start to single file out, try and reel back in our race leader. Because with 20 to go, you think if they work together, maybe a tenth or two. If it's just a tenth, they have to do it by, 10 laps to go, or else they have no chance of catching Zach Nichols. But that lap amount, continues to shrink as Zach Nichols drives away further and further each lap. You can see both lanes pushing pretty hard. You can see Steven Rochford's back bumper and his rear spoiler, that silver spoiler, jumping up in the air just a little bit. That's when that 13 machine hits that back bumper and makes contact. Oh, contact there between the line leaders, though, as they will trade some paint. But yeah, Zach Nichols now out in front by almost a second and a half now, so this field definitely running out of time, and looks like no one's giving up the ghost just yet. One car way up the racetrack. It's the 18 machine of Devin McDonald. Haven't talked too much about him. Start towards the front, but you can see that front end damage there, so that's definitely hurting him. Caleb Ramsey here, he has driven himself into the top 10 here, so that 41 machine's looking pretty all right. Oh, look towards the front here. Tim Rogers has gotten shuffled out in contact here. Andrew Payne going spinning through the grass. Same with the 918 of Logan Powers. Powers looks like will just slightly make contact to the outside wall. Payne keeps it off the wall entirely. But wow, so that will change up a lot and once again eliminate Zach Nichols' lead here tonight. With it's going to be about an 11 lap shootout when it's all said and done. So once again, we'll go to a quick commercial break. On the other side, we get ready for restart number 3 of the night. Alright, so here we go. We are back here. Zach Nichols going to choose the inside lane here. And the field re-racked, restacked, and it's going to be a 12-lap shootout. So no one down on pit road. Race control says, hey, let's speed up this caution. We'll get him back green here even sooner. So it will be now a 12-lap shootout left in this. And Zach Nichols' lead gets erased. Can he hold on it now with cars right behind him as we go back to green flag racing? So Nichols away with the lead. Ty Delphia trying to make that outside lane work here. Going to try and stay to the right rear of Zach Nichols. Can't quite do it. What kind of run can he get though down the backstretch? Can he shoot in front of the 66 here? Looks like will not, so he'll give Zach Nichols a shot going into turn number 3. As now here comes Hayden Swank. Swank will look to the inside of Hart. Hayden Swank started inside of the top 5, trying to make his way back there. If he completes the pass on the 51, he will be back into 5th here. Zach Nichols, though, in control. He's out in front. He can slide up once again like his normal line, up to the top side, down the straightaways, back to the bottom in the corners. As cars leaning on each other a little bit deeper in the pack, down McDonald, Caleb Ramsey making a little bit of contact there. Ramsey up in lane number 2 in the 41, McDonald down low in the 18. Ron Hart, I think, had to lift a little bit. You can see the gap now to that first pack, as the 51 will try and draft back up here. This time by here at the stripe, we go into single digits to go. It is 9 laps to go here at Nashville Superspeedway. Zach Nichols has been the car that's been in control of the second half of this race. Can he get the job done, or can someone steal it away? Like Ty Delphia, Steven Rochefort, Tim Rogers, Hayden Swank, all there in the mix as well. So one car sideways. That's a 52 machine of Jeff Dillon. Dillon will make pretty hard contact to the inside wall, but I think we'll stay green out here. Yes, we will. Ty Delphia now able to get clear of Steven Rochefort. A great push there by Tim Rogers. So the 13 machine can try and run down Zach Nichols. Now still side by side for 3rd here, as Rogers will now try and get clear of the 66. Rogers having some help from the 35 machine of Swank. They gotta make that move quick, because here comes the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Hart has been able to get this back. And how about this guy here, Zach Coyer, involved in that first incident here tonight. He has driven his way back into the top 10. He is running in 8th and looking for some more. This time by at the stripe, it is now 6 laps to go. Pack pretty large here tonight. I believe 13 cars in it. Last car that's kind of still in the draft, 93 car Vander Payne, made involved in that most recent yellow, but trying to get some spots back here, as now it is 5 laps to go here tonight. Oh, contact, close racing into turn number 1. More contact. Ron Hart and Steven Rochefort get together. Somehow they keep it rolling, but caution flag is out. But man, oh man, contact between the 51 and the 66 there into turn number 1. And with that caution, this will bring us to our 1 attempt at that green-white checkered here with the timing of that. So with that little bit of a shake-up, top 5 looking like the following. Zach Nichols out in front. Then it is the 13 machine of Ty Delphia. Then Ron Hart in P number 3. Tim Rogers 4th. Hayden Swank in P number 5. Swank has a lot of front end damage. Ron Hart probably has some damage. And you can see the door of the 48 damage as well. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how those cars will run, being involved in that most recent incident. So it sounds like from race control, we'll be going 1 to green here at the stripe, so Zach Nichols can choose high or low here at the start finish line. Nichols the past couple times choosing the inside. I don't see why that would change, and that does not. The 44 going to choose the inside lane here for our final restart of the night. Our one attempt at a green-white checkered. So if we do make it back to the white, we are racing back to the checkered. If the caution comes out before the white flag, this race will end under the caution. So front row, Zach Nichols and Ty Delphia, both red and white race cars. Which one will come out on top? We'll have a green-white checkered to determine it. I say we got to go high up into the stands. Let's head to the spotter stand to get a view of this finish here tonight. We now wait for the iRacing pace truck to head down pit road. We'll do that here as now Zach Nichols going to be in control. When does he decide to go? It is right now. We go back to green flag racing here for a green-white checkered at Nashville Superspeedway. How's it going to all shake on out? Cars beating and banging, and they know they got to take advantage when they can. Oh, Zach Coyer going on around. More cars making contact here. Andrew Payne involved. Pete Dillon. And what a heartbreak for Zach Coyer as he made it to the top 10. Now going to lose all that with that just there. As off of turn number 4, we stay green racing. And we make it to the white flag. One more lap to go. We are racing back to the checker. Further on back, Logan Powers continuing to try to make his way towards the front here. Powers making the move on Hayden Swank. Up in front of them, Ron Hart, Ty Delphia side by side. This is for second, though, as Zach Nichols has the advantage, leaning on each other down the backstretch. And here we go through 3 and 4 for the final time. Contact there. Tim Rogers and Logan Powers, but at the start finish line, it will be Zach Nichols picking up the win here, and I believe his 27th career win. As Zach Nichols will pick up the win here tonight. Ron Hart second, Ty Delphia in P number 3. As we will see Zach Nichols here head to the front stretch, probably burn it on down, and then after that we will quickly run through tonight's race results and then get ready, folks. At 9 o'clock we go to live action at South Boston here with the American Sim Racing Club Street Stock Series. As Zach Nichols burning it on down on the front stretch, here is tonight's finishing results. Zach Nichols will pick up the win. Ron Hart will finish second. Ty Delphia will round out the top 3. Tim Rogers will finish 4th, and rounding out the top 5, that will be Hayden Swank. Finishing 6th is Stephen Roachford. 7th, Devin McDonald. Finishing 8th is Caleb Ramsey. 9th, Logan Powers. And Chase Swank will round out the top 10. John DeMeester will finish P number 11. 12th going to Stephen Hoffman. 13th is Jeff Dillon. 14th is Pete Dillon. 15th, Zach Coyer. Andrew Payne will finish 16th. 17th is TJ Hassan. 18th will be Dave Payton. 19th is Chuck Darling. 20th is Anthony Danta. 21st, Jaden Kratacci. And 22nd, Jeremy Rigney here. So that will do it here tonight from Nashville. Like I said, the live Sobo broadcast going live at 9 here tonight on the Turn 3 Race Network. You won't want to miss that. Thanks again to all the league sponsors, LaPlante Racing Products, Boardwalk Subs, Postma Flooring, all these drivers putting on the show. Everyone watching at home as well. So everyone take care, stay safe. We got to also thank Premier Setup Shops. Their link in the description. They are a partner here with Turn 3 Racing Network. So that'll do it here from myself. From Nashville Superspeedway, everyone take care, stay safe, and I've been Brett the Jet, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.